Hi, Jwala.
Hi,
Hi.
hi.
It's lovely to have you on in our
Th-
live series. How are you doing,
Thank you.
first of all?
I'm doing good. Every day is Sunday now. So it gets boring sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, you've got a cute little cat called Winter. I'm a
Yeah.
huge animal
It's
person.
not my
Cats are
cat
one of
actually.
oh,
Yeah,
whose cat is
it's
this?
my trainer's cat.
Mm-hmm.
So he lives right next to us. So yeah, he was around, so he got his cat.
Oh, so is that helping you get
Yeah.
through the lockdown then? Thank you, animals. You have a dog of your own as well, I think.
Yeah, we have dogs. I have Pari and I have Tyson. It's a pug,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh.
Pari we adopted from. We just picked her. It's not very easy.
Correct. Just a second. Our connection seems to be a little iffy. Just a second.
I
Are we
can't.
okay now? You can hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
can hear you.
Yes. So you were
Yeah,
yeah. So your connection was a little iffy, but we're okay now. We're good to go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
So
All
yeah,
right. So
I
Jwala,
think there's a lot of realization. I think this lockdown, I think a lot of people have realized a lot of things. You know, we take our freedom for granted. We take small things for granted. I think we take life on the whole for granted. You
yeah,
know, and in this fast running life, I think we all have become very selfish. Now, the coronavirus is forcing us to think about others, because if we don't think, then even our families can be affected.
correct.
You know, now we all have to think about each other. We can, if we have the virus, we cannot, go out and go mingle with people, to
Correct.
protect our families as well. So that sense of, I don't know, I would say togetherness, that we coexist and we need each other, that kind of a sense has kind of creeped in. Also, there are a lot of negatives. Obviously, you will see the bad side of the society as well.
Correct.
But
Correct.
on the whole, I think now, we are feeling for the migrants, who are underprivileged. We are
Yes.
scared. In a way, we are scared that if they get the virus, then, the numbers would be widespread.
Absolutely.
So in a way, we are thinking about them. We would never think about them, right?
Correct. That's
So whether being a little selfish, there's a little selfishness in it, but we are still thinking about them.
that's
And people are, distributing food, I can see. So I think this lockdown will change the way we perceive or see the world from now on.
correct. Fair enough. So while that's interesting, you should bring up the fact that it also brings about the bad side of society, because I think you had written an editorial piece about how you've had to endure a little bit of racism as well now that we've had this
Yes.
virus come on. It's a horrible experience. I don't want to bring it up again, but then it's important that you have sports people talking about it. How difficult is
Mm.
it for you to talk about these things, for you to encounter stuff like this, especially because you put yourself out there so much?
See, I think it's for me. I speak my mind. For me, I never found such things difficult to talk about. Really, I think these are important subjects to speak or have a debate. We could have a debate. You could not agree with me, and I probably wouldn't agree with you. But we put few opinions, on in forefront, so that the people can judge for themselves. So I think it's very important to discuss everything which we say is sensitive to our society and is not doing good. I think it's very important to speak. Like right now, I think we are not speaking about what the real actual numbers are.
Yeah.
We are not talking about numbers of the coronavirus. We don't know the actual spread. We don't know if the tests are going on properly. We don't want to ask tough questions. I think it's very important to ask tough questions. And why
Right.
not? We live in a democratic country, and why not?
Correct. Fair enough. Is it easy being a sports person to be as outspoken as you are? Because not many people come out and speak their mind. It's easier to stay apolitical as a sports person. So you're somebody who's, as you said, you have the right to question things that happen. You have the right to question your authorities, people in the government, or people, even regular civil workers. Is that difficult to do, especially when there are 10,000 people on Twitter and Instagram telling you not to do it?
Uh, I thought speaking facts or speaking or I would call it my truth. That should be the easiest to speak, you know. But I think not speaking shouldn't be easy, you know. But I think it just I try, I try to be diplomatic. I try to look the other way, I'm like, okay, let's not get into this. I try really hard, but for me it's really difficult to have an opinion and not say it.
Yeah.
So for me the difficult part is to keep quiet, you know and I don't know, I belong to this society, I belong to this country. If whatever hurts my country, even if the numbers are in minority, why don't I have the right to speak? Like, why should I be wondering what others would think about me? Or why would but that's how the whole system has become. And I'm trying really hard to kind of understand what others are saying or not saying. Actually, what hurts me the most is, I think, what hurts the society or our country is for the good people who are keeping quiet. I think that's what is hurting me. Who the good people who are like, okay, let's not get into it. Those people every voice counts, and I think that's hurting me most, actually. I think that's not good for a democratic society like ours.
Correct. Absolutely. So I'm going to come back to this, but before that, let's talk badminton. Now, 2019 was a year where we had a world championship triumph for Sindhu, but then it's been ordinary in the sense that in the run up to the Olympics, we've not had too many wins to be happy about. We've had a lot of injury concerns. We've had a lot of issues come through in terms of how our team performances, form, and all of that has been. So if you sort of look at that, in a way, a lot of people are saying that the Tokyo 2020 delay is a boon because it gives us more time to train, gives us more time to work on these issues. It gives us a lot of time to figure out where the chinks are and deal with them. What do you make of that? Do you think the delay is, advantages for us, or are the issues still going to be the same? How do you look at it? How do you look at Indian?
We're forgetting that next year you grow 1 year older.
Exactly.
So the body reacts differently after a year. I would say a lot of athletes who are preparing for Tokyo this year, I would say it is a little unfair, because we really work hard for every Olympics, 4 years, the mental pressure and the physical pressure we go through. So it would be a little unfair to the players who had prepared. But of course, the circumstances wouldn't allow this Olympic to happen. So we have to accept it. What good thing about sportsperson is sportspersons are trained to adapt really fast to any circumstance or any situation. So I'm sure a lot of athletes will be okay, even though they would be disappointed. For Indian badminton, I'm not quite sure because I'm not seeing the kind of preparation which is supposed to happen for the Olympics. Um, I don't know. I will not sound politically correct. It would hurt a lot of people, but like even Sindhu, when she won, she also has to follow up with attending a lot of functions, a felicitation or this appearance and that appearance. She cannot avoid it. If she
Correct.
avoids it, she becomes controversial,
Correct.
you know. And if she attends it also, it doesn't play, you know, to
And people
her.
are thinking to stay on either side. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm saying I would probably, if I was in her place, I would probably think about myself and what is good for my career, because World Championship was last year and this year was Olympics. So I would have probably taken that risk of, you know, not obligating myself to attend the functions. I would have done it. I don't know
Correct.
what what position or situation she is in. So probably she can't say no, you know.
Correct.
Yeah. And you know, small things matter as a sports person. You know, when the coronavirus was pretty much in the beginning in February, there was also a sports award function in Delhi, and I chose not to go because I didn't want to waste. See, even if I get infected, nothing would happen. I'm sure I'm pretty healthy. I know I can fight it, but I would have wasted 4 weeks of it. But I
Correct.
saw a lot of athletes, in spite of having Olympics this year, still attended that award function in Delhi. It could be prestigious, but I wouldn't risk it. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a attitude you require, because coronavirus was there in Delhi during that time, you
Correct.
know, and
Correct.
I didn't want to travel through airport, and you know, I didn't want to attend that function is because of the virus. And you see now where the virus is, but a lot of athletes took that risk and they still went. And so small things like this. So I really don't know how what a player is thinking really. And for doubles is completely ruined, you know,
Exactly.
after I
I was
stopped
gonna get
playing.
that. I was
They
gonna get
wouldn't
that.
have even qualified.
Absolutely. They're seeing themselves, it's a little difficult for them, especially because of the ranking that they find themselves in. But as far as doubles is concerned, I think my question more than the Olympic qualification is just the state of doubles in India. Because when the
It's
2010,
pathetic.
exactly,
Let
when the
me
2010 Commonwealth happened, you and Ashwini really gave everybody, even people who don't follow badminton, a reason to sit up and look that, you know, you've got this pair that's able to do things. And it was not just you guys, it was also you with the mixed doubles. It was the other people in the in the men's doubles and things of the sort. There was a
Yeah.
healthy sort of a pool to look at in terms of all categories. But then
Yes.
right now we find ourselves fixating on the singles again. And doubles, we just have, off the top of my head or off the top of anybody here, people will probably remember Chirag and Satvik. So
They
what have we
would,
done
but
wrong? What have we
wrong
done wrong
is
for them?
that we have given this person who knows nothing about doubles, he's the in charge of everything in our country when it comes to badminton. He has not produced one single doubles player, and we're still looking up to him for answers. He doesn't have any answers because he doesn't understand doubles. It's very clear. I'm
How do
being
we fix
very
that?
blunt.
Yes.
Sorry.
How do we fix that? How does the BFI, how does
Singles has to separate from doubles. The camps have to separate from double singles camp. You cannot have a combined camp for singles and doubles. You have to have a proper ecosystem for doubles. You need an administrator like Gopi himself, what he did for singles, and I need. That's what I said. I offered. I said, let me handle the doubles. You know, I think nobody understands doubles better than me in this country right now. And if I'm there, I would promote doubles. I would talk more about doubles, which the person in charge doesn't. He hardly speaks about it. He's never spoken about me. So if a player of my stature who he has never recognized or acknowledged, the juniors would hesitate to take up doubles. It's very simple, and that's exactly what is happening. We have no players. I'm in the selection committee,
mm-hmm.
and you won't believe we don't have players. Is because everything became like one academy, and the academy represents the whole country,
Correct, correct.
you know.
You've spoken
I
about that
don't know.
before as well. How things being.
I've spoken, and then I've spoken, and then 2000 since 2010 I've been speaking about it, and there are hardly any players. There are hardly how to say it. It's pretty pathetic. And I had to fight my own battle. Now the players are just happy representing the country with no aim, don't know what their goals are, no proper guidance. Players are just adjusting their way. I can see it. They're training. Nobody even mentions doubles when it comes to
Correct.
badminton. So I think the whole attitude needs to change, and attitude towards doubles needs to change. How we look at doubles needs to change for sure.
Absolutely. So we've got a couple of questions coming in, and a few of
Sure.
them we will get to in just a bit. Before we get there, there's just another thing that I would like to ask you about the administration of badminton in India, at least, because coronavirus has shaken all of us up in the sense that nobody saw this coming. All of us think, yes, there are going to be unprecedented events that may come in the way of something getting cancelled or things like the Olympics, but nobody thought of a disease that might come and stop things the way the coronavirus has.
Yeah.
So in that, what lessons do you think badminton administration or just sports administration in general can take from this? Because right before the Olympics, people were talking about, nobody knew what happened to the qualifying tournaments. Nobody knew what their status would be, especially ones who hadn't booked their berths to Tokyo. So there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety for athletes there. What do you have anything to say to administrators keeping athletes in mind for situations like this?
No, I think you're talking about BWF, is it?
Yeah, BWF, the Indian Badminton Federation, anybody. How does one prepare for something like this now that we know it's a possibility?
You can't really prepare for such things. Now I think, now that this has been an experience, I think now there will be, I think they'll keep the hygiene, which is always there. BWF, I don't have any complaints as such. I think, federations and the associations are there to take care of the players' welfare. And I think you can't always get it right.
Yeah.
But, I always want to say that they need to keep an open mind. They shouldn't think, we have the power and we are going to dictate terms. They should they should take Players Association very seriously. Players Association is not taken very seriously. I think that's very important. I think different opinion always matters, and keep it democratic. Why not? It's sports, and it's if it benefits players, it benefits the federation. It's give and take.
Absolutely. So Aditya Kejriwal, one of the questions that came in was, tell us a little bit about your academy and tell us if that has sort of faced any roadblocks because of the lockdown. So what's happening on that account, Jwala?
I wanted to have an inauguration this month, but I think it's gone for a toss. But no problem. I think, we're taking it in our stride. And, I was a little disappointed. I wanted to start the summer camp, but I think, health is number one, and we need to, think about everybody's welfare. I can't. Yeah, I have an academy coming up with all kinds of sports, but initially, because obviously I'm little inclined towards badminton, so we're starting off with badminton. We have 14 courts, international standard, and we have gym, we have AV room, we have physio room, and I've really focused on small details, and it's pretty fancy to look at. I'm going to come out with pictures. I'm definitely going to release them on my social media, and yeah, I played in it, so I pretty much enjoyed playing there. So I'm sure people will enjoy playing there.
Lovely. So Ayan Acharya asks, sports is something we turn to in times of distress, but sport itself has taken a backseat now. So how significant will sports be in restoring parity when all of this is over? Will we ever go back to life normally again? What do you think about that ever?
No, I think, see, we need to understand this is a part of life. If it has happened earlier, we've had pandemics, we have cholera, we had Spanish flu. So I think, we have to accept it. We have no choice. Let's not be pessimist. I'm very optimistic, and life will go back to normal when, if we all cooperate with each other and with the government.
Right.
And I think, if you want your life to go normal as soon as possible, follow all the guidelines, lockdown guidelines, and make sure that, even if you are infected, make sure you inform the authorities. And it's just virus. It's not a big sin to get infected. I know
Right.
there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of fear.
Exactly. The
you
stigma
know
is very dangerous.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand the stigma. I really don't understand that, and how people are targeting people who have the infection or the virus.
Correct.
Anybody could get infected because of anything. You cannot, you can only protect yourself up to, a little bit. But you have to go to groceries. You might get infected, but it's okay. Go to, if you think you have all the symptoms, go inform the authorities, get the treatment, get well soon, and that's about it. I don't understand the stigma.
That's true.
you know it's quite funny, actually.
Fair. So we've discussed women's doubles. We've discussed how disappointed you are in the state of doubles, but the questions do not stop. So we've got Shyam who's asking us, hey Jwala, where do you think this vicious cycle began? When you were talking about the fact that we've not nurtured women's doubles, we've not spoken about it, we have administration that doesn't look into it. Where do you think this started? The neglect for women's doubles, if I
It
may say.
started in 2006 for sure, because when Vimal sir was the chief coach before 2006, he got in a doubles coach, and that's when Diju and me started playing. And Diju and me won the first tournament we played. We were so good. And when we came back from Melbourne, Commonwealth Games in 2006, Diju and me had defeated world number 5. I come back and I learned that I was thrown out of the team, and that's when it all started. All this people, I was number 1 player from the country. I came back from Rio Olympics, and I was thrown out of the team. No explanations given. So I think the mistake what we have done, what we do is we tend to make demigods out of people. That's the problem in our country. We splurge money on them after they win. My
Yeah.
point and my urge to the government is, if you have that kind of a money, put it in nourishing the players first, make the
Fair enough.
players out of that money, and then even if they win, give them the money. But every player needs to know that, know the importance of this financial thing, because right now it's very selective,
Correct.
and that's why we just have one medal. We don't have any other medals. We don't. When I was playing Commonwealth Games, everybody said, oh, only Saina can win and nobody else. Every day there was a news article saying that only Saina can win a medal from badminton. And I remember this conversation, and Ashwini was pretty young, and Ashwini was like, how can they speak like that? It affects me differently, it affects another athlete differently. And I said, just keep quiet. Let's just play, let's just do our job. But then why should we only expect one medal? Why can't we
Correct.
expect 5 medals? Why can't we expect 10 medals? It's because there is no enough encouragement given to everybody. If there is an equal treatment, you will not win one medal, you'll win 10 medals at the Olympics today. But there's no equal treatment, sadly. And that's where the whole vicious cycle started in 2006. Selective, whoever is being nice, irrespective of performance. I didn't know. See, what we were taught, by Arif sir and my parents, is that you just have to perform, and that's about it. I didn't know that side may, you have to be in good books, sabka, maska maro, talk nicely to them. I never knew that. I thought me winning is enough. And that's what sports was all about. But that's not the case anymore.
Right. So Kuldeep7596 says, Jwala, I read about your Nanaji and his father, and I'm proud of you as a citizen, and I really like your speaking about things, respect. So that's a lot of the posts that have come in say that. So yes, it's time to mention that as
Thank
well.
you.
And Jwala, you mentioned the fact that different players take to these kind of pressures differently. And that's absolutely right. And that goes across sports as well. That one person can take pressure a different way. You've been very strong about it. You've been very open about it as well. You've come out and you've said things when they bother you. But then
Yeah.
again, do you think, as administrators aside, we're also a country that loves its sport? And finally, maybe in the turn of this millennium from 2000 to now, we've given a lot more importance to several other sports besides cricket as well, because we've seen success in these sports,
Sure.
be it badminton, be it football, be it kabaddi, things like that have gained a little bit of prominence.
Yeah.
But do you think, as a country that consumes sport, we will go on to support it only if there's success? Are we unconditional supporters, or are we fair weather cheerleaders? What do you make of that? What do you make of the kind of support that you get?
See, I always believe we are a population of 1.3 billion, right? When cricket match happens, 1.3 billion people turn into coaches of cricket, like they're the experts of cricket. So I think, I think I don't blame people. We never believed in ourselves. you
That's
know
true.
unless and until we saw the results. So that culture, the thought process has been years of not believing in our talent or in our sporting system, which still kind of sucks. you know um that's why we have one-offs once in a way, history in making, or historic win once in a way. um I wouldn't, I wouldn't blame the spectators really. It's a very new thing. Still, people, the way they look at sports is, good hobby. They
Yeah.
wouldn't see it as a profession still, because the system around sports is not very secure in our country. Nobody thinks that sports can be taken as a profession, as serious as an engineer or an MBA or a doctor or whatnot.
Correct. Correct.
So I wouldn't blame people really. I would expect, people who are uh, hello.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Can you not see me? One second.
Yeah, I can't. Got it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I would expect people who are in charge in sports, and sadly, sad part is people who have played internationally, who become coaches or an administrator, they turn into politicians. And these dialogues are being thrown very loosely, saying that हमको ये सब नहीं मिला, तुमको जो मिल रहा है बहुत है, उसमें एडजस्ट करो. We were not given what you are being given, adjust. That attitude is what needs to be stopped immediately.
Fair enough. All right. So, in terms of this, now, if you look at, for instance, this people going into politics and stuff like that, is that your cup of tea? Because you need people who speak about things, but is that your cup of tea? Do you ever see yourself getting there at any point?
In politics?
Yep. Politics, administration.
I don't think I can join any party, dude. Like, come on. When Congress was there, they hated me. And now BJP, they hate me as well. So I don't think I can, but I think, but I will never be politically correct. So I don't know. I don't know. It depends. It depends what people want from me. I think I'm a very people's person. Like a lot, see, the idea behind me making this academy, this stadium, is also the players' demands. I got mails, I got messages, Didi, only you can do it. We don't have anybody. There's so much. We are not motivated to play anymore. Please do something. Speak for us, is what they said. And sadly, if I didn't have a stadium, I could not speak for anybody.
Correct.
So, because I was asked this only one question, if not his academy, the academy in Hyderabad, who else will we go to? And I was like, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's fine. I'll make an academy, I'll make a stadium. So send children to me, I'll take care of them. And that was the demand. And I put in everything. We had to sell one of our houses, what we had to put in all the money. I did not get any government support. I didn't want to wait anymore. And the demand was growing and growing. And then I said, fine, let me just make it on our own. And that's what we did.
Absolutely.
So it depends. If people want me to, if I see that a lot of people are expecting me to get into the dirt and rescue them, I probably would. But immediately, I think my focus will be on my academy right now.
Fair enough. So Shubham Kandelwal asks, athletes from other countries are professionally qualified, but they also do other things along with sports. Why do we believe that athletes from India will perform only if they're fully dedicated to sports? Is that it? Is that a thought that's there?
I didn't understand this question. Sorry?
I think what he means is, do people in India have to be single-mindedly focused on sports to succeed, or are we not a country that can multitask as nurturing talent? I think that's probably what he means.
I think what he means also is about education. I believe education and sports can go hand in hand. See Anil Kumble, he's an engineer, played for country. I am a graduate. I can speak. I can, I think also education, we should not just think education as a degree it shouldn't be a hurdle. Education, I feel, also gives you the capacity to think, think even when you're in the field, you become a cleverer player. Then you start your capacity, you're more broad-minded, you're more open-minded. You don't get stuck when you are trapped, in the field. So I think education should be looked at as an exercise as well. Also, I feel I don't know. I feel we can do many things as long as we're educated. The problem in our country is they think that जो भी sports खेलता है वो पढ़ाई नहीं कर सकता. That's a myth which I want to break. Because with my academy, if you see, I have a school as well in the campus. So I want children to also go and get educated. Also because you can play sports only till a certain time. You have to come out and live amongst normal people. And you learn that only in school or colleges. So you cannot play 24 hours badminton or any other sport. So physical activity maximum you can do is 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours of sleep. बाकी का बहुत time है. They can study and they can, develop other hobbies so that, their mind is continuously working. And I feel that children till the age of 18 should be kept busy. That way I feel then they are more, focused. They know what is right and wrong. I feel if every government facility, school facility has a sports academy like this, the crime rate also will go down. This is what I feel. Right now, the crime rate is very high because बहुत time है सबके पास.
Fair enough. All right. So now I'm just going to digress to one particular portion, which is women in sport. You've spoken about badminton, you've spoken about the general things, but you've also been a very huge champion for women empowerment, for the rights of female athletes, for women in general, in fact. Why look at sport? So in that sense, let's just clear it out there, get it out from you. Do you consider yourself a feminist?
I'm feminist. I'm a proud feminist. My father is a proud feminist. Absolutely. So the thing is, we interpret feminism in a different way according to our convenience. Feminism is not about physical strength. Feminism is about equal opportunity. You know, feminism is about equal treatment, you know, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. I think men also want to be treated equally in
Absolutely.
a lot of
Work for
different
both men and women. Absolutely.
circumstances. So if a woman is asking for the same equal opportunity or treatment, we are labeled feminist in a very negative way, um, again to their convenience. So I'm a proud feminist, and my father is too. We are two sisters, and you know, and he's never stopped me or my sister or my mom from doing what we wanted. And my mom, she was a Chinese national, and you know, now she's Indian, of course, holding an Indian passport, is running a full-fledged pharmaceutical business. And if not for my father's support, she wouldn't have been able to bloom, you know. And if, I don't know, we're all humans. Forget gender. We're all human. If it hurts you, it hurts me. You know, same physical pain. It's just that we have few organs differently placed here and there. But otherwise, I think we're all humans and we are all same.
Correct. Now, the reason I'm asking you this, not the feminism question, but the fact that the equal treatment of men and women, is because after a man stops playing or after a male player stops playing, we see them coming in as we see them still stuck with the game. But that's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to look at how the public perceives a person after they've stopped playing. For, say, a male player or for people in mainstream women's sports, they still call back on, you're still interested to hear what they're saying. For you particularly, you've had a lot of attention on your personal life. Has that, oh, that's definitely been irritating. So I'm not going to ask you, has that been irritating? But how do you, after a point, become immune to these questions, become immune to probing things in your relationship? There is a lot more that you can give in to the sport. So does it irritate you when people sort of rob you of that opportunity?
Not really. See, you know, I'm past all of these people. You know, they still stuck with small things. They don't know. I've seen the world. You know, I've seen. I think I might be just 35, 36 year old, but in my head, I have the experience or the exposure of a 60, 70 year old male or female. You know, the person I am, because I've seen so much and I've faced what I have faced, nobody has faced, and I've come out victorious. You know, and what I have achieved, nobody else, many people have not. So I think, you know, I'm above all this. You know, the thing is, you know, what I want to say to these women who feel irritated or what, if you want to be treated equally, also, one way how you can, you know, make a statement is behave like an equal. You know, I think that would help. You know, people might think, oh, she's arrogant, or oh, she's so bossy. Don't bother. Behave like an equal and then demand equality. That's what I would say. You know, and I think my personal life, oh my god, what to say, my personal life has always been in big interest. I don't know why nobody's interested in any other sports person's personal life. You know, very few, I think. But in badminton, it's just been me. So I think I would take it as a compliment, telling you frankly. So people are interested in my personal life. Okay, let me give it to you. That's fine. You know, it's okay. You know, I also like to read gossip columns sometimes. It's okay, you know. So I take it in my stride. It's part. I did not play badminton to become a celebrity. You know, celebrityness thing came along. I still don't consider myself as a
But
celebrity, so
what's
that's
wrong with
why.
it? But what's wrong with it?
No, but no, I did not see. I played to represent my country and win medals. That was my
Correct.
aim.
Correct. Correct.
It was not to become famous, to become a celebrity. Oh my God, earn money. That was not in my head at all. So for me, my single point focus was to win an international tournament. That's about it. The celebrityness, the fame, the name came along with it. you know. So even tomorrow, because now see, that's why I've not played 2 years of badminton. And if people think that, oh, अभी तो ये famous नहीं है इसीलिए ये बात कर रही है, भाई मुझे famous होने के लिए या celebrity बनने के लिए I don't need to play badminton. Big Boss, I've been getting 10 साल से Big Boss का offer. If I'm really celebrity crazy, I would have been featured in one of the seasons, you know. And then every year I get this Jhalak Dikhlaja offer. I don't know why they think that I can dance. So,
can you dance?
but not. I don't know. See, I'm very that way. I'm a very private person, you know. I can sing. I know. Meaning, I'm a good singer also, but it's just me. It's for my, you know, thing. It's not. I wouldn't do it for money, or you know.
Correct. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I wouldn't do it. So for me to become famous or celebrity बनना है, तो I didn't need to play badminton really. क्यों गोरी हूँ, ठीक दिखती हूँ. Why I would have been an actress? Why not? You know. So people need to take it easy, you know. And this is not just it. Life doesn't revolve around this only. There's so much more. There's so much more to life. You know, there's so much more we can contribute to the society. You know, we all are part of it. If you're expecting some support from other people, why can't you support other people? Is what I would say.
Fair. And
Yeah.
Jwala, you have been a champion in women's doubles badminton. You've been there, you've said things, you've done things, you've achieved, you've had so many medals, you've had so many accolades in your name. How do you see this equal pay debate? Persons all over the world are talking about it. Do you have to draw in numbers to be able to be eligible to ask for parity with men? Or what is your take on it?
We should be equally paid. There's no second thought about it. And if a guy puts in 4 hours of hard work, and if the girl also is putting 4 hours of hard work, why not? There shouldn't be any difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree with it. One of the reasons why I stopped playing Indian tournaments also was because of this reason, that the doubles was first very poorly paid. If a singles player winner was getting 1 lakh rupee, the doubles players were getting 24,000 rupees divided by 2.
Oh my.
That was the difference. So I said, I don't need 12,000 rupees, you know, to support my career. If a junior plays and he or she wins, they would probably, you know, need that kind of a money, and it would help them. But last 4-5 years, I stopped playing national level tournaments because of you know, paying less to the doubles and to the women. So there was
Correct.
no equal pay then. So that was one of the reasons why I stopped playing national level tournaments.
Correct. Fair enough. So now, going out of this lockdown, what do you think we should do as the sporting fraternity? What do we do to just slowly get things started off again? There are so many things that we can focus on, like for instance, developing our national leagues, developing more grassroots sort of sports across things. It could be badminton, could be football, could be cricket. But a lot more emphasis is now going to be within the country, because travel restrictions are still going to be there. Things are still, there are a lot of issues that are still going to persist. So how do you think we get back to normal?
I feel we, you know, the central government needs to take state government in confidence, and you know, because there are a lot of infrastructure which is not being used. You know, like Hyderabad itself has beautiful infrastructure, Gachibowli, and you know, make use of these stadiums which are already there and worth hundreds of crores and just lying there. They're being given for school function or shadi or, you know, some commercial things, but they're not being used for sports regularly, which was meant to be for sports. You know, so I think the central government should, you know, get in touch with state government and make these as, you know, open to public, deploy coaches, take coaches, pay them more. We don't pay our coaches well. That's one of the reasons why the private academies are slowly, you know, starting. But private academies, everybody cannot afford private academies, and
Correct.
the coaches also become very commercial. एक घंटा club में coach करेंगे and एक घंटा ये club में, so they are also not able to dedicate because the coaches are not being looked after in our country. So we need to start looking after our coaches so that we don't depend on foreign coaches, you know, and we have the numbers. It's not like we don't have the numbers. It's just that the pay and the salary of coaches very less, very less. We don't give importance to our coaches, except for the coaches who have good marketing skills.
Fair. Do you ever see yourself coaching at any point?
I don't think I can be a good coach. I can be a good administrator, a good mentor. I can be a good, I can help you guide, you know. Coaching is something which is to be learned for years, you know. Like my coach, Arif sir, he's a sports psychologist. He has done NIs. He was a psych coach for 30, 40 years, you know. I don't think, if I want to be a coach, I want to be like Arif sir, and I don't think I can be like Arif sir. So I don't want to demean his position, what he's achieved in his life, and, you know, take his place. But I would like to mentor coaches and provide, not mentor coaches, I want to provide for coaches. You know what I mean? I want to take care of coaches, and I want to be that bridge between the coach and the player, and yeah, I want to do that.
Ooh, that's lovely. So before we wind up, a lot of people have been asking you how you've been going, like how you've been spending time during the lockdown. What are you watching? What are you reading?
I'm with my parents, you know. I actually live alone, live separately, but now for this lockdown, I came down to my parents and spending a lot of time with them. And we have dogs, and it's a big community, you know. So we have people around, and, you know, yeah, but it's getting to me now. I think it's too much. I love staying home. I'm a very home bird, you know. I love staying home and do nothing. But the point is, now you see, we are so dependent on people. We don't realize this. We depend on our housemaids, and, you know, oh my God, I'm washing vessels, I'm sweeping, I'm mopping. Oh my God, I'm done now.
Do you cook?
I cook, but I hate cutting vegetables. So I'm leaving the cooking and cutting to my sister and my mom.
That's great.
Yeah, the other day I washed my bathroom. Can you believe it? I never thought I would. You know, I thought I was done with all that hostel kind of a life 10, 15 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
We lived in Sai hostel in Bangalore, and I thought I was done with all of that. But I guess, yeah, part of life, we have to go on.
Lovely. All right. So as a parting question, if you look back at your career now, Jwala, you've got different things coming up for you now with the academy and with all the other ambitions you have for the sport. But looking back, you were one of our biggest stars for doubles over the better part of the last 2 decades. So would there have been anything you would have done differently? What do you cherish the most? What are your biggest takeaways from your career, if you were to look back and think about it?
I don't think I could have done anything differently. I tried really hard, you know. I had to take few tough decisions because I was forced to, you know. People say I'm very controversial but I don't think I was the one who was creating controversy. You know, I was a national champion. I should have been in the Indian team, but they threw me out of the Indian team. So it was not me who created this controversy. It was them, you know. But sadly, people who stand up or speak up, they become controversial. I don't think I would have. I've learned a lot in my life, you know. It's made me what I am today, and I'm a very, I don't know if it might sound very boastful, but I think I'm a very strong personality, and nothing can shake me very easily. So I think if I had not gone through all of that, I wouldn't have been what I am today. And I'm very proud of myself, you know. And my mom says it. She's a Chinese, and Chinese are in the top of the medal tally in at the Olympics. And she says that, Jwala, for me, you have already won Olympic gold, because with what you went through and you still qualified for 2 Olympics, it is impossible what you have done, you know. So I take my mom's words very seriously, and I'm a very proud person, and I think I deserve to be proud, and 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 I have a lot of stories to tell my kids, so I'm very happy.
That's lovely. Jwala, thank you so much for all the time you've given us. Nearly
Thank
an hour.
you.
Thank you. It was lovely
Thank
talking
you.
to you. Hope we can catch up after this is done.
Yes,
So we can
thank
discuss
you.
more. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will have stories and all of the other news continues on Sportstar. So if you want to catch up with everything happening in sport today, even though there is no sport, you can still catch up with everything else that's happening with sport today. Go over to www.sportstar.thehindu.com. We will come in with a couple of more lives over the next couple of days. So just make sure you keep tabs on our social media, watch our spaces to figure out who's going to join us in the coming week. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, everybody. Stay indoors and play it safe.